So you think medicine works because of its active ingredients? Cute. Here's the twist. Sometimes the thing making you feel better is nothing at all. Or more specifically, something disguised as medicine, but about as pharmacologically potent as a tic-tac. That, my friend, is the placebo effect, the bizarre psychological and physiological phenomenon where your brain decides, oh, we're taking the good stuff now, and then proceeds to actually make you feel better, even though the good stuff is literally a sugar pill, saline injection, or some medical theatre that does absolutely nothing biochemically. And before you roll your eyes and say, yeah, but that's just people imagining they feel better, no. The placebo effect can cause actual, measurable changes in things like heart rate, hormone levels, immune system responses, and even brain activity. This is not thinking happy thoughts. This is your brain going full DIY biochemistry. Before we dive in, drop a comment with the weirdest psychological phenomenon you've ever heard of, because I am always on the hunt for new ways to prove that human brains are equal parts genius and dumpster fire. Also, like and subscribe, because apparently that releases dopamine. And yes, technically that's another placebo. Alright, formal definition time. The placebo effect is a beneficial health outcome resulting from a person's anticipation that an intervention, which in reality is inert, will help them. The term placebo comes from Latin, meaning I shall please, which sounds romantic but was basically old-timey medical code for we're out of ideas, so here's something that might make you feel like we're trying. The effect has been documented for centuries, but it was in the mid-20th century, especially after Henry Beecher's famous 1955 paper, The Powerful Placebo, that researchers really started to measure it systematically. Beecher observed that about 1/3 of patients responded positively to placebo treatments. 1/3. That means if you had 100 sick people, around 35 might get better, just because they think they're getting medicine. And this is not just headaches or mood stuff. Placebos have been shown to reduce pain, improve depression, help with Parkinson's symptoms, and even speed up recovery from surgery. Yes, your brain can be convinced to rewire dopamine pathways or release endorphins because it saw a doctor in a lab coat hand you something special. It's the mental equivalent of a toddler believing their scraped knee feels better after you kiss it, except you're a full-grown adult and your kiss is a gelatin capsule filled with cornstarch. But before we go any further, have you ever had a moment where you're pretty sure the placebo effect got you? I'm always collecting real-world stories to remind us just how easily our brains can be tricked. So, how does this magic trick work? First, there's expectation. If you believe you're getting something that will help, your brain starts preparing for that help. It can release neurotransmitters like endorphins, dopamine, and serotonin, basically doing the job the drug was supposed to do in the first place. Then there's conditioning. If you've taken real medicine before and gotten better, your body remembers that ritual, the pill bottle, the water glass, the aftertaste, and links it to recovery. The next time you repeat that ritual, even with a fake pill, your body goes, ah, I know this game, time to heal. There's also the powerful effect of medical theatre. White lab coats, beeping machines, and even the tone of a doctor's voice can make a placebo more effective. In fact, studies have shown that more elaborate placebos, like fake surgeries, can work even better than plain sugar pills. Yes, people have literally recovered faster after sham knee surgeries, where the doctor just made an incision, did nothing, and stitched them back up. Your brain saw the scar and thought, yep, problem solved. It's like your nervous system has a gullible little intern who believes any memo written in official medical font. This is where things get almost sitcom-level absurd. Take the open-label placebo. This is when doctors give you a placebo, but tell you to your face, this is a placebo. It has no active ingredients. And guess what? People still get better. That's right. Even when you know it's fake, your body sometimes responds as if it's real. It's like your brain saying, I know you're lying to me, but I'm going to choose to believe you anyway, because the alternative is doing nothing. Then there's the color and shape effect. Red pills work better as stimulants, blue pills work better as sedatives, and larger pills feel more powerful than smaller ones. Capsules beat tablets, injections beat capsules, and an IV drip feels like the Rolls-Royce of healing, all because of symbolism in your head. And yes, There's even the brand name placebo effect. People have reported better results from a generic pill after it was relabeled as a famous expensive drug. Your brain apparently respects corporate branding as much as a marketing intern in their first week. One of my favourites is the placebo effect in sports. Athletes have been given oxygenated water that was just regular water, and they performed better, purely because they thought they were getting an edge. It's the athletic equivalent of wearing a lucky pair of socks and suddenly running faster. Now you might be thinking, why on earth would evolution give us this glitch? Well, it's not really a glitch. The placebo effect is likely a byproduct of our brain's predictive and self-healing systems. Humans evolved in environments where belief in a healer, ritual, or treatment could literally improve survival odds. If your brain could kickstart a physiological healing process simply because a trusted figure told you they were helping, that's a pretty solid evolutionary advantage. It means faster recovery, better resilience, and more chance of passing on your gullible little genes. And remember, the opposite also exists, the nocebo effect. This is where you experience real negative symptoms because you expect something bad to happen. If you're told a pill will cause headaches, you're more likely to get headaches, even if the pill is inert. Basically, your brain can be your best friend or your worst hype man. So, the placebo effect might have started as a survival tool, but in the modern world it's complicated. It means that medical research has to account for it in every clinical trial, which is why drugs are tested not just against nothing, but against placebos, because sometimes nothing works surprisingly well. Here's the big takeaway. The placebo effect is not about being gullible or weak-minded. It's about how astonishingly interconnected your mind and body are. Your expectations, your memories, and your trust in the process can trigger real biochemical changes. In other words, your brain is a part-time con artist who will lie to your body for its own good. This is why doctors can't just dismiss the placebo effect as fake. Harnessing it can mean better outcomes, fewer side effects, and more affordable treatments. The trick is to use it ethically, without replacing real medicine where it's actually needed. So the next time you feel better after taking something special, just remember, it might be the treatment, or it might be your brain playing doctor behind your back. And if you enjoyed this little trip into the bizarre psychology of healing, hit like, subscribe, and comment. I can't promise it'll make you smarter, but hey, if you believe it will, maybe it will. Placebo's orders